Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. Today I'm reacting to my second scary storyteller channel for y'all. And this one is Spooky Vibes. And the video that I'll be watching is 3 true Disney World horror stories. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys. And let's get this reaction on the road and in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
Okay, so this story happened a few years ago, and I'm still not over it, and I don't think that I ever will be. Me and my wife had decided to take our 2 kids down to Disney World after I got a pretty decent promotion.
Oh, that's
Our
good.
kids loved everything about Disney, and we thought that it would be the perfect family vacation for them.
Oh, absolutely. If you got a big promotion at your job and your kids love anything to do with Disney, then take them down there. I can tell you about my time down in Disney World, but I think I'll save that for a story time video. But anyway, let's continue with the story and see what happens next.
And just for context, my son was 3 at the time, and my daughter was 4. We booked a hotel in Disney, and even got all the fast passes and everything you possibly could to make the trip more enjoyable. Well, on the 3rd day, we were at the Magic Kingdom. And on that day, they had like all the Disney characters walking around in costumes and taking pictures with the kids. Well, my daughter saw Princess Jasmine and literally burst into tears and was begging to meet her and to go get a photo with her.
Oh, that is so sweet. I know every girl's dream is to go meet a princess at Disney or another character there.
There was quite a bit of a line. There were a bunch of other characters interacting with the kids and parents, and it was overall a pretty positive and fun experience. Except when we saw Mickey. As we were standing in line for my daughter to get a photo with Jasmine, my son saw Mickey Mouse and also started to freak out. There wasn't a line for Mickey, and he was waving his hands for our son to come take a picture with him. I walked my son over to him. Mickey picked him up. I reached into my bag for the camera and realized my wife had it on her and was still standing in the Jasmine line not too far off. I turned around real quick to grab it, but when I turned back, Mickey and my kid were both gone.
Oh, heck no. That's every parent's worst fear. You think you're at a safe place, the people in the Disney costumes will treat your kids fairly and hold them there until you come back with the camera? But no, sometimes you might have a bad apple out of the bunch that just wants to kidnap kids. At this point, I'll be running to a Disney employee and tell them to get on their walkie-talkies to tell the security to go find Mickey Mouse and the kid before he's gone.
Just vanished. It was very crowded, and I couldn't see them anywhere. I started running around, pushing people aside and yelling my son's name out. And then, I still can't believe this happened. I ran to a back part of the park not too far from where we originally were standing, and I see that same Mickey Mouse with my son walking out some back exit fence. I full-on sprint over to the fence and yank my son out of the hands of Mickey. He was crying hysterically. Mickey then hopped into this white van that was parked nearby. There was like 6 people in the van that I could see. Mickey hopped in, and the van sped off. I immediately went to the park security and explained the situation. I can't go into full details about what I know, because the investigation is still ongoing.
I knew it. It was a child kidnapping ring. I would like to know how in the world that this person got a hold of a genuine Mickey Mouse costume looks similar to this and snuck in the park. Because I thought when these workers come in, they have to be checked first before they're getting their costumes. But I think now security is tensed up because of this incident. This is the first time I ever heard something like that happening. A costume performer taking a kid from his parents. That's really disturbing to hear.
But it turns out that van and Mickey were a part of some human trafficking organization. I'm already telling you too much. My lawyer said not even to write this, but the people have to know that there are people in the world who would do anything to cause harm and evil. And these organizations run deep. You wouldn't believe the people in power who are associated with it. But my son is safe, and that's all I care about. We ended up getting comp from Disney for the next 3 seasons. always be alert and always be aware of your surroundings.
Yes, that's the most important thing, that your son is safe and did not go out that gate with him. But I know he's probably terrified of Mickey Mouse now because of this a-hole trying to kidnap him. But of course, if he goes back there, since they got compensated by Disney, that the real Mickey Mouse will get to meet him and won't have to be scared of him. I just hope that FBI would be able to figure out how did this guy get into the park dressed as Mickey, and then the white van was parked outside this gate without nobody knowing it. I guarantee it's probably an inside job, but who knows. But thankfully, they're safe, so let's get to story number 2.
Last year, me and a bunch of my girlfriends all decided to take a trip to Disney World. Now, I live in Florida, and all my other friends had to fly down and see me. But it's always worth it to them, especially when we can just go to Disney whenever we want to. Well, it was a Friday. All my friends were with me, and we were at EPCOT's Drink Around the World. This was a day that we were going to let loose and pretty much just get drunk and have fun.
Yeah, everybody goes to Disney World and they got certain sections for the adults to enjoy. You'll definitely get loose and have fun. I mean, Disney is supposed to be the magical place to go to, and you're supposed to have fun there. I wish we can go back, but to be honest with you, tickets are so expensive down there that it just seems like you have to be in the upper middle class or wealthy families to even afford to go down there.
We were at this one outdoor bar that they had in EPCOT. And just for the people who don't know, Drink Around the World is pretty much the place in the park where you can order a drink from any country. But anyway, I think we were at the UK part of it, and we took our seats at the outdoor bar. Now, I'm always the paranoid one of the friend group. I'm always looking in, seeing who's around me. We take our seats, and there are these 2 other guys sitting directly to our left. They both had their heads bent, like they were in deep conversation, and they were staring at all of us. I get that that's not a big deal, but again, I'm the paranoid one, and I took notice of it.
Hey, no, I believe you. I'll be paranoid too. If people just kept staring at me nonstop, I'll be like wondering why. I guarantee you these boys are eyeballing them girls down just so they could probably act like they want to flirt with them, but then probably try to kidnap them or do forced intercourse, which that is disgusting. Which I hope it ain't. I'm just guessing right now. So let's just continue and find out what else this girl discovers about these men.
We each order our first rounds of drinks. The day is going completely normal so far, and that's when I said I needed to go to the bathroom. There were 5 of us total, and 3 of my other friends said that they would come too, leaving my one friend alone at the bar by herself. I asked her if she wanted to come too, but she insisted that she did not have to go and would save us our seats. I looked at the 2 guys sitting next to her one last time before going to the bathroom. When we got back, I saw our friend acting a bit strange. She was a little slumped to the side, and she was almost falling out of her chair. And that's when I noticed that the 2 men were no longer there. I asked my friend if she was okay. She looked at me with these hazy eyes and barely could form a sentence. Then she completely collapsed into my arms.
Oh, heck no, don't tell me them guys did something to her drink to where she'd be paralyzed and pass out. If that was the case, not only will I be getting help from my friend, but tell the security guys to look for those dudes, because it seems like they're running away, trying not to get caught.
I immediately started yelling for help. Soon after that, we got my friend rushed to a hospital nearby. They ended up finding ketamine in her blood system, which is in most roofied drugs. When I found this information out, I just knew in my heart that those 2 men sitting next to us slipped her something into her drink while we went to the bathroom. I went back to Disney and demanded that they pull the videotapes from that day. And yes, clear as day, Disney saw the footage of these 2 men pouring a white substance into my friend's drink while she wasn't looking. Here are some updates. My friend is completely fine. Nothing is wrong with her. As for those 2 men who did what they did, their faces are out there, but they haven't been caught. Me and my friends have not been back to Disney since.
First of all, I'm glad that your friend is okay and did not succumb to this drug. that those two boys poured in her drink. But I don't blame you for not going back to Disney, because that is one scary and terrifying experience. I cannot believe that there's actually sickos that would go down to these bars that are like at the EPCOT Center and do that. But thank God security cameras were pointed in that area and saw those two, and hopefully their faces will be posted on internet, newspaper ads, local television, news reports, and they'll get caught. I'm just mad they didn't get caught right then and there. There's a bunch of sick people in this world, I tell you, that'll do something like that just to see women get sick off of that substance. Because imagine they did it to the rest of the girls that were in that group, then they probably would have tried to get them out of there without the Disney people stopping them. But thankfully that did not happen, and nothing else worse went down.
Not too long ago, I took my 2-year-old son for a trip down to Disney World. He's obsessed with The Lion King, Toy Story, and pretty much anything kids Disney. And for context, I was a single mom at the time. Well, I had just saved up enough for both of us to go down and decided to pull the trigger on Disney. But I'll be honest, going to all the parks as a single parent can absolutely be exhausting.
Oh, believe me, I'm not a parent myself, but when I went down there to Disney, it did exhaust me. I think we did go to just the main Disney attraction. We didn't go to like Animal Kingdom or any of the other parks. It's been so many years ago, it's hard to remember. But that place is so massive, it will drain you out.
But it was truly worth it to see my son's face light up at all the rides in the parks. During our time in Disney, I bought my son one of those autograph books. It's so you can have all the characters sign them, and you get to keep it as a gift. Well, for my son, I literally got him every autograph that I possibly could, all the way from Captain Hook to Elsa. Now here's the really strange part. When my son and I got back home from Disney, I was unpacking all of our stuff back into our apartment. I was going through all the merchandise and gifts my son got when I found the autograph book. I picked it up and started going through all the names. On the very last page, there was this message written that didn't seem to come from any of the characters. It said, "You need to keep a closer eye on your son. We exist, and he is not safe." And I had to reread it like 5 times because I simply couldn't believe what it said. Another thing that I noticed, every character that signed the book signed with a black marker or Sharpie of some sort. This message that I found was written in red pen. I remember every character that signed it, and I watched as they all gave it back to me. None of them wrote that message. I ripped that page out and showed it to my friends and coworkers. Nobody can explain how someone could have written that in there, especially without me noticing. I've kept the autograph book, but I've since torn up the last page. I'm not sure if I should have kept it or not, but the message was just too disturbing, and I did not want it near me. My son still loves Disney, and we've been back twice since then. But on those trips, nothing has happened, and they were completely normal. To this day, I have no idea who wrote and left that message in my son's autograph book.
Okay, that's a little creepy. That's probably a warning saying that when traffickers are hiding in plain sight at Disney, and if she didn't watch her kid, they would have took him. If none of the characters didn't write that in there, then who did? Unless the person that sold the autograph book snuck that message in there before she looked at it thoroughly after paying for it. Very fishy. But I'm just glad that they went back to Disney and did not have no issues afterwards. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn those post notifications for more spooky vibes related content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Core channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I said that's a wrap. And have a nice day, buddy.